Welcome. Today we're going to do something a little bit different for the channel, and we're going to do a single exercise that's going to help you on your path towards becoming a giver. Now, I want to dive deep into a visualization exercise to help you see what stepping into the future you can look like. You know, a life that is built on your unique gifts and superpowers. So stick around, because this guided visualization is designed to help take you on a journey into your own future, where a version of yourself lives that is fully developed and embraced their gifts and superpowers. It's a glimpse into what would be possible when you intentionally, discover, develop, cultivate your strengths and align them with your purpose and your values, and then begin to share them with the world. Now, my name is Jake Talbert. I'm the founder and author of a book called The Giver Method. I'll include a link to this book in the description. Now, The Giver Method is all about how you transform lives through generosity, how you discover those gifts and superpowers so that you can have deeper connections, that you can create more impact and live a more fulfilled life. And one of the biggest ways that you do that is with visualization exercises. It helps build confidence in what you're doing. And I've seen firsthand how these visualizations, they help, they can be actually the key of unlocking your gifts and superpowers so that you can make that impact and live that fulfilled life. So before we dive into it, if you are new here, go ahead, don't forget to hit subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. I don't want you to miss out on any of the other content we have about discovering and unleashing your gifts and superpowers or creating impact. Now, like I mentioned, this is going to be different because it's going to be a single exercise to help you to envision your future self and see how embracing the Giver Method will change your life. So what I want to do first is I want to dive into the actual visualization exercise. I want to get to that as quickly as possible so you can get as much value as we can. Afterwards, I want to discuss why these types of visualization exercises are so important to do, okay? So let's get started. We're going to go through a couple key rules and things, and then we'll dive into the actual exercise. So the key to effective visualization is making it as detailed and realistic as possible. So take the time to, while you're doing it, breathe consciously, to feel the emotions that are involved, to picture and take snapshots of specific scenarios, or identifying the concrete outcomes that are there because of it. And so what you want to do is find a quiet place where you can sit comfortably, free from distractions. You're going to be closing your eyes and taking deep breaths, allowing yourself to just immerse into this sort of an experience, okay? So I want you to go ahead, find that space. If you need to pause the video, you can, so we can dive into that exercise. So now that we're ready, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna sit quietly, and you're going to begin by closing your eyes. Now I want you to start by taking a deep breath in for 3 seconds. So go in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. And I want you to focus on that sort of a rhythm as we are working through this exercise. So as you close your eyes and you take that first deep breath in, 2, 3, I want you to allow yourself, 2, 3, to fully immerse in the experience. I want you to let go of the tensions that you may have. I want you to open your mind to the possibilities that lie ahead. So go ahead and take that next deep breath in, 1, 2, 3, and I want you to exhale, 2, 3. And as you do, imagine yourself stepping into the future, whether you are walking through a door or a portal appears, or you envision yourself just manifesting out of nowhere into your future. Now, this is not just any future, but it's one where you fully stepped into your purpose, where your gifts are developed, they are honed, and they are shared in ways that are making a real difference in people's lives. I want you to look around at the world that you've created and the environment that you've created for yourself. Like, what do you see? Are you at home, and is that a home that's filled with warmth and love? Or maybe it's a thriving career where your talents are recognized and appreciated, or perhaps maybe you've created a community that has been touched by your contributions. Let the details of that start to become as vivid and clear as possible. Think of what colors are you seeing? What are the sounds you're hearing? What is the energy within the space that you're feeling? Now, as you look around and you notice this space, I want you to shift that focus back to yourself and notice how you carry yourself in the future. Is there a lightness to your step, a certainty in your presence? Do you, exude confidence? Not because everything's perfect, but because you're aligned with who you are and who you're meant to be. You no longer doubt your abilities or question what your worth could be. You move through life with intention, knowing that your unique contributions matter. Now think about, how does it feel to be this version of yourself? Let that sink in for a second. The energy, the purpose, the deep sense of fulfillment, it's already within you. This future is not a distant dream. It's waiting for you to step into it. Now keep your breathing going, and I want you to start to picture yourself in the middle of your life's work, fully using your gifts and superpowers in ways that energize you and serve others. What are you doing? What do you see? Are you leading a team and guiding others towards growth, or are you being more creative and creating art, or designing, writing, or innovating new ways to inspire others? Are you leading and mentoring, or supporting, or teaching those who look up to you? Whatever it is you see yourself fully engaged in it, and feel the ease in which you can operate that. Feel the flow that comes when you're doing what it is that you're meant to do, and notice the impact you're making. How your work or your presence, the gifts and superpowers that you're sharing, how it's shaping the lives of those around you. I want you to look at the faces of the people you've touched and see the gratitude in their eyes, and see the transformation that they've gone through, and the confidence that your contributions have sparked in them. You're not just doing something, but you are changing something within them. You are creating ripples of impact that will extend far beyond what you can see. Now take a moment, and I want you to take in and absorb as much of this scene as possible, and feel that deep sense of satisfaction of knowing what you are doing matters. Now, as you do that, I want you to shift your attention to how you feel living in this space with purpose and alignment. There's no hesitation, there's no doubt. There's a sense feeling of deep satisfaction and peace. You're waking up each morning excited for the day ahead, knowing that you're living in a full alignment with your gifts and passions. What emotions start to rise to the surface for you? Is it confidence, joy, belonging, or another feeling? I want you to lock that feeling in and bring it to your heart. Let those feelings fill you up. Allow yourself to embrace the truth that this version of you already exists and is simply waiting for you to step into it. Now imagine the relationships in your life. Allow yourself to embrace the truth that this version of you, it's there waiting for every person who you're connected to. The way people look at you with respect and admiration, not just because of what you've achieved, but because of who you've become. The authenticity that you're bringing to every interaction, the way you inspire those around you by simply being yourself. Now, there's no fear of being too much or not enough to those people. You know that you are exactly who you're meant to be, and that's more than enough. Now, I want you to slowly start to bring yourself back into the present moment, breathing and continuing that in and out breath work. I want you to hold the energy of this vision as you do. You've seen what's possible. You've felt what it's like to fully develop and embrace your gifts and superpowers. Now the only question is, what is one step that you can take that moves you closer to this reality? What's the step you could take today? And let your mind wander for a moment. Think of what action, no matter how small it might be, could you take that starts to align with your future self. Maybe it's dedicating a little bit of time to refining a skill. Maybe it's reaching out to someone for mentorship, or sharing your knowledge and gifts in a way that you've been holding back. Whatever that is, I want you to start to build it up for yourself and commit that you're going to do it. I want you to picture yourself taking that step and doing that first thing, and see it unfolding and moving you closer to the person that you just met in your vision. I want you to take a deep breath and begin to exhale as well. Now open your eyes. This future that you saw is not a dream. It's something reserved for the select few. and it's yours to claim. This version of you that you just saw is not separate from you or something that, you have to go find that's out there. It's already in you. And as you reflect on what's possible, you begin to embrace your gifts and superpowers. You can step forward with intention towards that version of you. Every choice you make, every action you take moves you closer to that version of you. Your gifts and superpowers, they're not random. They're given to you for a reason, and they're meant to be shared. The world needs what only you can offer. So as that visualization, that journey that you went through is complete, I want you to take that moment right now, and I want you to just pause and reflect on what you saw, what you felt, and how that might have really impacted you. Now, you may want to get a journal and write down some thoughts on that. I would love if you feel comfortable sharing any part of your journey, what you saw or felt. If you feel comfortable sharing that, do it so in the comments. It may be something that helps people to make a connection themselves on what they're able to go and do. Helps them to see a future that's possible for them. Now, I want to talk about why these sort of exercises of visualization are so important as you go through and you're trying to ignite a spark in yourself, or you're working on becoming a giver and an impact maker. These aren't just daydreaming sessions. They are actually powerful tools that help you to unlock your natural abilities and build the confidence to use them. Visualization acts as a powerful pattern, as a powerful tool for pattern recognition and self-discovery. So when you start to close your eyes and you picture yourself making impact in the world, your mind just naturally gravitates towards certain scenarios and actions. You may have noticed those mental pictures and how clear they were to you. You're consistently drawn in particular ways to helping others. These recurring patterns are not random in any way. They're often pointing you directly towards your unique gifts and superpowers. The way you naturally imagine yourself helping others can reveal the unique contribution that you're designed to make. Now, at the same time, I've done lots of visualization exercises and breathwork exercises with people over the years, and I've done them myself. And I know when I've done them, there are times that those pictures are so clear and vivid, and I'm like, I can't wait to get to that. And there's been times where they're vague, cloudy, and not a ton of detail, and that's fine too. This is why it's good to come back and do these types of exercises regularly so you can see the different pictures, and as you grow and evolve, how those visualizations change as you begin to continue taking steps closer to that future version of yourself. Now, visualization serves as a confidence building tool, through that sort of a mental rehearsal of doing it again and again. When you picture yourself successfully using gifts and superpowers, your brain creates natural pathways, not natural, neural pathways, similar to those formed when you're actually experiencing it. This sort of a practice, it helps reduce fear and hesitation when it comes to sharing gifts and superpowers in real life situations. Think of it like an athlete that, is visualizing their performance before any sort of a big game. The more you see yourself effectively using your gifts and superpowers and handling challenges and creating positive outcomes, the more prepared and confident you'll feel when those opportunities arise in your real life to share those gifts with others. Now, visualization, it also helps you understand the true impact of your gifts by seeing ripple effects. When you take the time to picture not just the immediate effects of sharing your gifts, but the long-term and broader impacts, you begin to grasp their full potential. You might see how helping one person leads them to helping others, or how a small act of service creates a wave of positive change in a community. This sort of a larger and broader view often reveals that your gifts and superpowers have far greater value than maybe what you initially realized, which can motivate you to develop them even further and share them more freely. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the key to effective visualization is making them be detailed and as realistic as possible, and taking the time to feel those emotions involved, the picture, the different scenarios that are happening, and thinking of what are the concrete outcomes. It isn't just about creating fantasy situations, it's about seeing real possibilities and preparing yourself to bring them to life. And regular visualization practice can help you really bridge that gap between identifying gifts and superpowers and actively using them to create meaningful impact in the lives of others. Now, if you are ready to take that next step in developing your gifts and superpowers and making a greater impact, then that's why the Giver Method is here to guide you. Grab your copy of the book off Amazon and begin unlocking your full potential. You can also find all the other ways that we help people on thegivermethod.com. You can find, get on our newsletter. You can book me as a podcast or stage guest, and you can discover how we can support you in your journey. Now, if this video helped you, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Maybe share it with someone else you feel might benefit from it. Make sure that you have subscribed and hit that bell for notifications. And until next time, just keep growing and keep giving. And remember that your journey towards who you want to become starts now, and your future is waiting for you. So go and get it. Go out there and get it, and the world's waiting for you to do so. The universe will pay you back as you do so, I promise you that. And we'll catch you in our next video. Have a great rest of your day.